Welcome back to Pop Trigger, everybody. Grace, Will, and Jason.
Yo.
By now, you probably have heard about the murder of rapper XXXTentacion. He was murdered this past Monday, shot and killed at a motor sports store in Deerfield Beach, Florida. He was 20 years old. There is an ongoing investigation. No arrests have been made as of this taping. The murder has stirred up some complicated feelings in many people. Many are mourning his death, but many also conflicted. This was an artist who is undoubtedly talented, deeply troubled, and also very violent. He had been accused of a number of violent crimes. And we're just gonna be talking about this and some of the responses that you saw online. Jason, this morning,
Yes.
we talked about it briefly before we went to tape, and,
Yes.
and you feel a type of way, so let's hear from you.
The type of, okay, well, full disclaimer, I didn't listen to any of his music. I'm gonna start right there. But from what I read online and from what I followed, is just that one, yes, okay, a young man, a young black man is dead. That's nothing to celebrate, first and foremost. Two, you have these celebrities like Jadena and these people online that are kind of paying homage to him or paying their respects. But this person was entangled in some violent activity, was a known homophobe, and talked about beating people and beating someone that he was in a relationship with. So I was super conflicted when it came to feel not so much feeling sorry for XXXTentacion, but just trying to have solid feelings as to what's happened. Like I said, no one deserves to die. No one deserves to be murdered. So that's where I land on that. And I know a lot of you guys are gonna disagree with me. I'm okay with that. But I mean,
listened to his music. Would you describe yourself as a fan of his music?
No, I wouldn't describe myself as a fan. I think there was kind of a morbid curiosity around his music for me. I think Jason kind of nailed this. I never wish death upon anyone, right? I don't think that's something that anyone should ever have in their moral constitution. But I think the outpouring of sympathy for XXX really confuses me, and I think even more dangerous, obviously he's going to become a martyr to a lot of children now at this point. And listening to his albums, listening to his messaging, a lot of it seemed very cult-like, and a lot of it was very strange, almost like someone with mental illness. And I think XXX is probably someone who did have mental illness. But yeah, as someone who bragged about beating his homosexual juvie cellmate half to death for looking at him, I don't know if really there should be this outpouring, like this Princess Di style national mourning.
So what some people are saying online is basically that he had been, especially this past year, been working on making good, and that he'd been a force for positivity. And that's a lot of what we saw of his online presence. If a lot of you have probably seen his Instagram lives that have been circulating about just believe in yourself and positivity. And a lot of musicians that he worked with or that he was friends with were sharing their DMs of just X who was on house arrest for a time, reaching out to them, saying, positivity, positivity. So it comes down to sort of how do you weigh that? No one's saying like, okay, he didn't say these positive things, but also he also very much did these incredibly violent and abusive things.
I think people always deserve a second chance. You always deserve forgiveness. I'm not the type of person, I'm not gonna sit in this chair today on this show and act like people like Joy Reid or this artist don't deserve a second chance. I just think it does a disservice to the youth of America and like the young adults that are proselytize into believing what this guy is saying and think that it's okay to, or they accept that type of behavior. So again, I'm struggling right now to even find a middle road to where I can reconcile and have a comfortable resolution about him. Maybe it'll never happen, but
I think that's what a lot of people are feeling though as well, which is that it's like you don't want to be dishonest. You're not mourning, you're not grieving over the loss of this person, yet you would never, as you said, Will, wish that on someone. It's a tragic way to die and no one wants that.
Right, and I think there's a bigger indictment of mumble rap and drill rap and kind of the culture surrounding that, where it's like so many of these mumble rappers have been accused of beating the crap out of women, which is not good. And yet we're still, like, Spotify is still front paging Trippie Redd, right? And he beat the crap out of some chick. Like, I really don't understand people's willingness to just kind of overlook really horrible behavior to dance.
Oh, that's such a great point because that's what they're doing. You know, like black women that have been the victims of domestic abuse don't get nearly as much notoriety in the media as their counterparts do. And XXXTentacion, sorry, 3 times XXXTentacion is just another example of that.
Yeah.